What are non-chordates? In this session, we are going to describe the basic features of non-chordates. What are the distinguishing features between non-chordates and chordates? Let us begin the session with the definition of the organism itself. We cannot simply define an organism in a simple sentence or two. An organism can be defined based on the characteristics possessed by this particular commodity. An organism may be defined as an assemblage of different types of characteristics. So, what are the characteristics possessed by an organism which is unique to life? These characteristics are listed here. First characteristic is the cellular organization. Every living thing is made up of, or organism is made up of, at least one cell. That is cellular organization. Then reproduction. It is the ability to reproduce or the ability to produce a progeny. It comes under two major categories: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In the case of asexual reproduction, there is no genetic variability. It occurs like simple methods such as binary fission, budding, fragmentation, etc. In the case of sexual reproduction, there will be a union of male and female gametes. So there will be ultimate genetic variability. Then the next characteristic is the metabolism. Metabolism is the overall chemical reactions occurring within the body of an organism to maintain the normal life. Metabolic reactions can be divided into two major categories, that is catabolic reactions and anabolic reactions. Next characteristic is the homeostasis. It is the constant maintenance of physical parameters in the body. For example, the maintenance of constant body temperature in homeotherms. Then heredity. Heredity means it is the transmittance of characters from one generation to the next generation. Then next characteristic is the response to stimuli. Organisms can respond to different types of chemical, physical stimuli from the external medium as well as from the internal environment. Next major characteristic is the growth and development. So these are the fundamental characteristics unique to life or the characteristics possessed by a living organism. The biodiversity of the earth in earlier concept is divided into two major kingdoms, that is kingdom animalia and kingdom plantae. Kingdom animalia included all animals, then kingdom plantae included all plants. There is a major drawback in this particular classification system. In the case of microorganism, we cannot simply say that they are either animals or plants. So this particular classification system fails to accommodate organisms such as microbes, that is bacteria, viruses, then protists. In 1969, Robert H. Whittaker came up with an idea to solve this dilemma, which is known as five kingdom classification. The earlier system is known as two kingdom classification. In that classification system, animals or organisms are divided into two major categories, that is animals and plants. In the case of five kingdom classification, there are five different major categories. This is the overall outlook of the five kingdom classification proposed by Robert H. Whittaker. In this particular classification system, organisms are divided into two major categories, that is prokaryotic forms and eukaryotic forms. Prokaryotic forms do not possess a well defined nucleus, membrane bound nucleus. Then they also lack membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, etc. In the case of eukaryotes, the cell possesses a definite nucleus with a nuclear membrane in which the genetic material, that is either DNA or RNA, resides. Then in the cell of eukaryotic life forms, there are lots of membrane bound organelles present such as mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, etc. In the prokaryotic forms, there is only a one kingdom which is known as kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera includes all bacteria. They are prokaryotic unicellular life forms. Then eukaryotic organisms are further divided into two major categories based on their number of cells. Unicellular organisms possess a single cell for maintaining normal life activities, and multicellular organisms possess many cells to maintain their normal life activities. Eukaryotic unicellular organisms comes under a specific kingdom known as Protista. This particular group includes Euglena, Paramecium, etc. They are eukaryotic forms. They are also unicellular with a simple organization. Then multicellular eukaryotic forms are further divided into two major categories, with the cell wall and without cell wall. Organisms having cell wall and organisms without cell wall. Then organisms having cell wall is divided into two major categories based on their mode of nutrition, that is phototropic and heterotropic. Phototropic organisms are termed or included in a kingdom called kingdom Plantae. So they are eukaryotic multicellular organisms having a cell wall which are also phototropic. Then eukaryotic multicellular organisms with the cell wall which are heterotropic included in a kingdom known as fungi. Then multicellular organisms without cell wall comes under a specific kingdom which is known as animalia. So this is the overall outlook of the five kingdom classification proposed by Robert H. Whittaker. It is the most widely accepted or prevalent classification system of organism. Let me remind you once again, in this particular classification, organisms are classified into two major types based on their cellular nature, whether they possess a well-defined nucleus or membrane-bound organelles. Prokaryotic organisms do not possess any well-defined nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Only a single phylum, kingdom, come under this particular group, which is known as Monera. Then eukaryotic forms possess a well-defined nucleus and also membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotic forms are further divided into unicellular and multicellular based on their number of cells. Unicellular eukaryotic forms comes under a specific kingdom which is known as Protista. Then multicellular eukaryotic forms are further divided into with the cell wall and without cell wall. Without cell wall includes all animals or kingdom Animalia. Then with the cell wall is divided into two major categories based on their mode of nutrition, phototropic and heterotropic forms. Phototropic multicellular organisms with the cell wall are included in kingdom Plantae, and heterotropic multicellular organisms with the cell wall are included in fungi. So kingdom Animalia is again further divided into two major categories, non-chordates and chordates. Now let us discuss or distinguish between these two. What are non-chordates and what are chordates? This classification is based on the features of chordates, whether an organism possesses a chordate feature or not. If an organism possesses the chordate features, it is termed as chordate, or if it is not having that features, it will be included in the non-chordate categories. So let us discuss the fundamental features of chordates. Presence of a notochord at some stage of the development. Notochord is a rod-like structure present in the body at the embryological stage or adult stage. In some organism, this particular structure will present in both the embryological stage and adulthood stage. This particular structure gives support to the body. Then pharyngeal gill slits are also present in chordates at some stage of the life, either embryological stage or adult stage or both. Then they possess a single dorsal and hollow nerve cord. Then if heart is present, it is ventral in position. All chordate possess a pumping organ for the circulatory fluid, which is known as heart, which is ventral in position. So these are the fundamental features of chordates. In the case of non-chordates, these features are completely absent. They do not possess the rod-like supporting structure, notochord. Then the pharyngeal region is not perforated into gill slits. Then if nerve cord present, it will be double ventral and solid. In the case of chordates, the nerve cord is single, dorsal and hollow. In the case of non-chordates, the nerve cord is double, ventral and solid. Heart, if present, it is dorsal in position in non-chordates. In the case of chordates, it is ventral in position. So these are the fundamental differences between chordates and non-chordates. Non-chordates are classified into different phyla based on their features. First phylum is the Porifera. Porifera includes sponges. They are aquatic, primitive, life forms with the cellular grade of organization. Then Coelenterata includes jellyfishes, Physalia, etc. Again, aquatic forms. Then Platyhelminthes, they are flatworms. Most of them are parasites. Then Aschelminthes, they are roundworms. They are also parasites just like Platyhelminthes. Then Annelida includes earthworms, leech, etc. They are true coelomate categories. Then Arthropoda, which includes all invertebrates or non-chordates having jointed appendages like scorpions, spiders, insects, etc. Then mollusca are soft-bodied aquatic organisms. Then Echinodermata, they are spiny bodied aquatic life forms. Then Hemichordata, it is a transition zone between non-chordates and chordates. It possesses some chordate features and non-chordate features. In the forthcoming sessions, we will discuss about the phyla in detail. That is their general features and their classification with the examples. So that's all about the fundamental introductory session about non-chordates.